Hello students, welcome to Chate Group of Education. In this lecture, we are going to learn the 9th number topic from the section 1, which is the carbon compounds. Okay, so see, carbon, it's found in number of things or number of substances which we found in our day-to-day life, like the food which we eat or the fuels like a petrol, diesel or the coal. In all these substances, in all these things, the carbon is present. Okay, so in perfumes, poisons, explosives, dyes, carbon is present. If you see, all the compounds are actually the plant or in animal origin. So the compounds which are obtained directly or indirectly from plants or animals are called as the organic compounds. And in organic compound, the essential element or the element which is present is the carbon. So the compounds which are made up of the carbon are called as the organic compounds. Then see, there are certain properties of the carbon. If we see nowadays, around 10 million compounds of carbon are existing. And behind this, there are certain properties of carbon due to which we see the number of compounds. First one is the carbon forms covalent bonds. The next one, carbon shows the tetravalency, means the valency of the carbon is 4, and the catenation property. We are going to discuss further these properties of carbon. Then see, what is covalent bond? Simply, covalent bond is the bond which is formed by the sharing of electron between the two atoms is called as the covalent bond. So covalent bonds are formed by the sharing of electrons, and these covalent bonds are always strong. Now see, these covalent bonds between two atoms may be a single bond, double bond or the triple bond. So let's see the one covalent bond, that is the single bond. The bond which is formed by sharing of one pair of electrons is called as a single bond. Means two atoms are involved there and one atom shares one and another shares one. So pair of electron, if between two atoms a pair of electron is shared, then there is a formation of one bond, then that bond is called as a single bond and is represented by a small horizontal line like this. Then see, the formation of a hydrogen molecule takes place by the single covalent bond. If you see, the atomic number of the hydrogen is 1 and the atomic number of this one hydrogen atom is also 1. So what happens? These two hydrogen atoms requires one electron to complete their first one K shell. So when these two hydrogen atom comes in contact with each other, they share a pair of electron. That is, this one hydrogen shares one and this one shares the another. And there is a formation of a one covalent bond. This single bond means there is a one pair of a electron. Then see, double bond. Double bonds are formed by the sharing of two pairs of electron. In the single bond, there is a sharing of one pair, and in double bond, there is a sharing of two pairs of electron. The formation of oxygen molecule takes place by the sharing of two pairs of electrons. The atomic number of oxygen is 8. In the outermost orbit of the oxygen atom, we can see 6 electrons are there. So when two oxygen atoms come in contact with each other, what happens? To complete the octet, we can see they require the 2 electrons. So when two oxygen atoms come in contact with each other, they share the 2 electrons, 2 pairs of electrons. See, the electrons of this one oxygen are represented by dots and of this are represented by cross. So these two oxygen atoms share the total 2 electrons, that is 2 pairs of electrons. So there is a formation of a double bond between the two oxygen atoms. Then triple bond. Simply triple bond means what? When there is a sharing of the 3 pairs of electron, then it is what? There is a formation of the triple bond. The formation of the nitrogen molecule takes place by the triple bond. The atomic number of nitrogen is 7, so its electronic configuration is 2, 5. This is also the nitrogen. The electrons of this nitrogen are represented by dots and this by cross. So if you see, these two nitrogens requires 3 electrons to complete the octet. So whenever these two nitrogens come in contact with each other, they total share 3 pairs of electron. 1, 2, 3. So there is a formation of 3 bonds between the 2 nitrogen atoms, and thus there is a formation of the triple bond. Okay. Then see, tetravalency of carbon means what? The atomic number of carbon is 6. So its electronic configuration is 2, 4. So either carbon can complete its octet by donating all 4 electrons and by accepting all 4 electrons to attain the stable configuration of neon. But instead of these two ways, the carbon completes its octet by sharing the electrons. Okay, so carbon forms the covalent bond. So that's why the valency of the carbon is a 4, so it is called as the tetravalency. Carbon is a tetravalent element. Then formation of the methane molecule is discussed here. The atomic number of carbon is 6, so its electronic configuration is 2, 4. So these carbon atoms requires total 4 bonds as its valency is a 4. So whenever the 4 hydrogen atom comes in contact with a single carbon atom, there is a formation of the methane molecule. The electrons of the carbon are represented by cross and the electrons of a hydrogen are represented by dot. Each hydrogen atom requires 1 electron and single carbon atom requires total 4 electrons. So there is a sharing of total 4 pairs of electron, and in this way there is a formation of the methane molecule CH4. Then next, see carbon dioxide molecule. We know the formula of the carbon dioxide, it is CO2. The atomic number of carbon is a 6, it is 2, its electronic configuration is 2, 4, and atomic number of oxygen is 8, its electronic configuration is 2, 6. Okay, so carbon requires 4 electrons to complete the octet and oxygen requires total 2 electrons to complete the octet. So what happens? This is a single molecule of oxygen, atom of oxygen, carbon and oxygen. So there is a actually sharing of the 2 pairs of electron between the carbon and oxygen, and this one oxygen and this one carbon. So surrounding the carbon, we can observe 4 bonds are there, and as a valency of oxygen, oxygen have the 2 bonds. Okay, this is what the formation of the carbon dioxide molecule. Then versatile nature of carbon. Carbon is a versatile element. See, firstly, the unique nature of carbon atom and the arrangement of carbon bond forms with the other atom enable to existence of a large organic compounds. Means a single carbon atom can be bonded with the number of carbon atoms to form a straight chain. That's why we observe the number of compounds of the carbon. Then tetravalent nature, that is the valency of the carbon is 4. Then by sharing the electrons with the 1, 2 or 3 or 4 carbon atoms or atoms of other elements, carbon can produce the bonds, okay, or group of atoms. So this is the carbon atom electron configuration 2, 4. It can form bond with the 4 hydrogen to form the methane. We have seen the formation of the methane. Okay. Then see one property, catenation, that is the tetracovalency of carbon atom allows it to combine easily with the other carbon atoms, and this property of carbon to combine with the other carbon atoms to form a stable chain like a structure called as the catenations. Then a single carbon atom can be bonded with the number of carbon atoms to produce a straight chain of a 30 carbons, 40 carbons, 100 carbons. Okay. Then now see, in most of the organic compounds along with the carbon, hydrogen element is present. So such compounds which are composed of 2 elements, carbon and hydrogen, are called as the hydrocarbons. Okay. So the most numerous and important compounds of carbon forms are those with the hydrogen, and these compounds are called as the hydrocarbons. Further, see, these hydrocarbons are divided into main 2 types. First one type is the saturated carbon compounds. Simply saturated carbon compound means what? If in between the 2 carbon atoms only single bond is there, or simply we can say if the valency of the carbon is satisfied by the single bond, then it is what? It is the saturated carbon. Okay. Then there carbon hydrogen bonds are also single covalent bonds. So they are called as the saturated compounds because valency of carbon is satisfied by single bond. Okay, and remember the saturated hydrocarbons are also called as the alkanes. Then after, the next one type is the unsaturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated hydrocarbons means what? If in between the 2 carbon atoms, if double covalent bond or triple covalent bond is there, then that type of compounds are called as the unsaturated compounds. Okay, so you can see here this one compound is the carbon, 1 hydrogen single covalent bond, but here 2 covalent bonds are there. So this is the unsaturated. Here 1 single bond, triple bond. So this is also the unsaturated compound. Okay. Then see saturated and unsaturated compounds. Now, the carbon compounds are present in the chain, branched and ring structures of the carbon compound. You can see this is what the chain structure. You can see here the carbon atoms are linked in such a way that they produce a straight line chain. So this is what the linear chain. In the second one figure, we can see the branched chain. 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon atoms are there and fifth one carbon is attached like a branch. So this is the branched chain of the carbon. Then cyclic means this is the closed ring structure of carbon. We can see here 6 carbon atoms are connected to each other in such a way that they produce a one chain. They form one chain. Here 4 carbon atoms, they are connected in a cyclic manner. So this is what the cyclic ring. So the compounds of the carbon or the hydrocarbons are present in the linear chain structure or the branched chain structure and cyclic ring chains. Okay. Then after see, the compounds can be branched when the atoms are more than 3. We have seen the linear structure, branched structure. Okay. So when in any molecule, if the number of carbon atoms is more than 3, then that one compound can exist in a straight line form and also in the chain form. Sorry, also in the branched form. So you can see methane, only one possible structure is there. Of ethane, only one possible structure, it is in the straight chain manner. Propane, straight chain. Okay. Now, if carbon atoms are more than 3, then we can observe the branched structure. Now look at the next one, butane, whose molecular formula is C4H10. This is the straight line structure. 4 carbon atoms are connected in such a way that they form a straight chain. Then in the second one structure, we can see the 3 carbon atoms are connected in a straight chain, but the fourth one is connected to the middle one. So this is what the branched structure. Okay, so the name of this one compound is the N-butane and this is the isobutane. Molecular formula is the same, but the structure is only different. Then also in case of pentane, we can see the straight chain structure and the branched structure. Name of that one compound is the isopentane. Then further see, the branched chains gives rise to a different structures. Parent alkane are named differently. For example, in pentene, the molecular formula of the pentane is C5H12. One can see a straight chain, branched chain and a ring structure of the pentane. This is the straight chain of carbon. This is the branched chain. This is cyclic closed ring structure of carbon. Name of this one compound is the N-pentane, that is normal pentane. This is isopentane and this is cyclopentane. Okay, so if the structure is different, the name of that one particular compound is also different. Then functional group. What is a functional group in any compound? See, an atom or a group of atom which determines the specific chemical property. It is actually a specific another element other than carbon and oxygen, or it can be also a group of the element and it gives particular or the specific chemical properties to that compound. Such a group is called as the functional group. Okay, so functional group may or may not contain the heteroatom in them. So see here the heteroatoms and the functional groups are given. First one, you can see the halogen is there. Halogens, name of this one functional group is the halo. There is the chlorine can be there, bromine, iodine, fluorine. These are actually the halogens. Okay, structural formula of this is a ClBr. Condensed structure formula is given. Then after the heteroatom, the functional groups which have the heteroatom oxygen, such a functional groups are given here. First one we can see is the alcohol, whose structure formula is the OH and condensed structure formula OH. Aldehyde, C double bond OH, condensed structure formula CHO. Name of this one functional group is the aldehyde. You can see carbon is there, hydrogen is there, oxygen is there. Okay, so this is the group of the atom which is called as the aldehyde. Then ketone, C double bond O, condensed structure formula CO. Carboxylic acid COOH, ether O, ester COO, and the next one functional group which contains the heteroatom nitrogen is the amine, whose structural formula is the NH2. So these are the functional groups which are attached in the hydrocarbons, that is the compounds which are made up of the carbon and hydrogens. Okay, then see, homologous series is the next one point. Homologous series is what? All the organic compounds are made up of a progressively building chain of carbon atoms with a number of compounds having the same functional group. Okay, So members of such a series of similarly constituted compounds are called as a homologous series, and members of homologous groups are similar in structure and they display the similar chemical properties. So actually what happens in the homologous series, one atom is replaced by the same functional group and the properties of such a compounds are same. So such a series of compounds is called as a homologous series. You can see the first one series is of the alkane. The saturated hydrocarbons are called as the alkanes. Methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane. These are the first 6 members of the alkane series. The molecular formulas, you can see the molecular formulas increase, or there is a difference of only CH2 group. Okay, CH4 methane, C2H6 ethane, C3H8 propane. The condensed structure formulas are given. Number of carbon atoms in methane is 1, ethane is 2, propane is 3. Number of CH2 units are also 1, 2, 3. And further in the next one column, the boiling points are there. So if you see, this is the alkane series. The difference in the neighboring 2 compounds of the alkane series in the molecular formula is only of the CH2. And also the chemical properties of these alkane members are similar. So this is the homologous series of alkane. Then nextly, this is the homologous series of alcohol. You can see this is the first one compound in this one series is the methanol. Okay, means what? From the methane, only one hydrogen atom is replaced and there the alcohol, this one functional group is attached. So CH3OH. The condensed formula is CH4O. And structural formula is a CH3OH. Number of carbon atoms 1. Again, if you observe in the methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, there is only difference of the CH2 group in the molecular formulas. The number of carbon atom increases by 1. Number of CH2 units also increases by 1. Okay, so every time the hydrogen atom from methane, ethane, propane, butane is replaced by the same functional group alcohol. So this is the homologous series of the alcohol: methanol, ethanol, propanol and butanol. Then further, homologous series of alkenes. See, we have learned the unsaturated hydrocarbons. If in between the 2 carbon atom double bonds are there, then that compounds are called as the alkenes. And if triple bond is there, then they are called as the alkynes. So alkene means double bond, alkane means single bond, and alkyne means triple bond. So here the homologous series of the alkene is given. From ethane, ethene is there, propane, propene, butane, butene, pentane, pentene. Molecular formula C2H4, propene, C3H6, butane, C4H10. Again, their structural formulas, number of carbon atoms and number of CH2 units are given. Every time we observe, they are increased by 1. And properties of all these elements present in that one particular homologous series are same. Then see, nomenclature of the carbon compounds is the next one point here. Mostly any compound have the 2 names. First one is the common name and second one is the IUPAC name. Okay, so IUPAC is actually an international union of pure and applied chemistry which actually give or designs the name to the organic compounds. Okay, so in the IUPAC nomenclature, first one thing we should identify is the root word. Means if 1 carbon atom is there, then the root word is the meth. If the 2 carbon atoms are there, root word is the eth. If the 3 carbon atoms are there, root word is the prop. 4 carbon atoms are there, then the root word is the but. So firstly we should identify the root word. Then suffix. We know always the suffix is attached after the name. So the suffix denotes the type of bonds or the functional group present in the carbon chain. Means if alkane is there, then suffix would be ane. If alkene is there, it should be ene. Okay, then if it is alkyne, then there should be yne. For the alcohol functional group, the suffix is the ol. For aldehyde, the functional group is suffix is the al. Then see here it is given. For single bond the suffix is ane, for double bond it is ene, for triple bond it is yne. Okay, then for particular functional groups, particular suffix are there, like for alcohol ol is there, for aldehyde al. Okay, then for ketone one is there. So such a suffix we should remember. Then see here, prefix is also one more there. For certain compounds, every time suffix is not there, sometimes prefix is also there. So this denotes the presence of other functional group and their position. Now if you see this twin compound, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atoms are there. Okay. So firstly, we should identify the root word. If the 4 carbon atoms are there, then the root word is the but. Okay. Then, how many functional groups are present here? In this twin compound, 2 functional groups are there. First one is the chlorine and second one is the OH, that is alcohol. Okay. And for the chlorine, always suffix is there, and for alcohol, for chlorine always prefix is there, and for alcohol always suffix is there. Okay, so firstly we have identified the root word, then we have labeled the chain in such a way that this one functional group OH will have the less number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Suffix is the OL for the alcohol, and prefix chlorine is also the functional group. For chlorine the prefix is the chloro. So name of this twin compound is the 3-chlorobutanol. Okay. Alcohol group is attached to first twin carbon atom, so there is no need to mention it. Okay. Then see, compounds and the names are given. For alcohol functional group, OL is there. For chlorine, chloro. For bromine, bromo. Okay. So for particular functional groups, what suffix or prefix is used? It is given. The name of this twin compound is ethanol. Then this is bromoethane. Here suffix, here prefix is there. Here suffix. Then CH3NH2. Suffix is the amine. So name of the compound is methanamine. Okay. Then also in the next twin table you can observe CH3CHOH, CH3OH. Okay. So how many carbon atoms are there? Totally 3. So then after we should number the ring in such a way that the carbon atom or the functional group attached to carbon atom, it should have the less possible number. So if we label here from 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, this one carbon atom will have only 2. Okay. So name of this one compound, root word is the pro, because 3 carbon atoms are there and only single bond is there. So it is alkane. So name of this one compound is propan-2-ol. Then CH3, CH2, CH2, CH, CH3. Chlorine is attached here. Okay. For chlorine, the prefix is there and it is attached to second number carbon. So 2-chloropentene. Then third one, the functional group here is the ketone, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon atoms are there. So name of this one compound is a pentane, as it is the root word. Ketone group is attached to second number carbon. So 2, and for the ketone the suffix is -one. So pentane-2-ol. Then see, one table is given in your text to give the IUPAC names to the compounds. This is ethinyl, ethylene. Its IUPAC name is the ethene. Acetylene, CH triple bond CH. Its IUPAC name is the ethyne. CH3COOH, ethanoic acid. CH3OH, methanol. CH3CH2OH, ethanol. CH3CHO, ethanol. Then after CH3COCH3, totally 3 carbon atoms are there and the ketone is the functional group. So name of this one compound is the propanone. Okay, propan-2-ol. Then this is ethanamine, as the NH2 is attached here. Then CH3CH, CH2Cl. Chlorine is the functional group and 3 carbon atoms are. So name of this one compound is the chloropropane. Then see, chemical properties of the carbon compounds. In that, first one is the combustion. Simply combustion means what? Combustion is the burning of any substance. So in this point we are going to learn the combustion of the carbon compounds. So see, whenever there is a combustion of the carbon compounds, what happens? As it is organic compound, carbon is there, so definitely it will release the carbon dioxide gas. So see, the products of the combustion of carbon and its compounds are carbon dioxide, water, and a large amount of heat energy is released. If you see here, if there is a combustion of the methane in a limited supply of the air, then what happens? Methane plus O2, that is oxygen present in the air, it will give the carbon and water will be produced. Okay. Then methane burns with a blue flame in the air. Then further see, if this is very limited supply of the air and if there is abundant air, then products are different. So when methane burns in oxygen in a presence of a abundant amount of the oxygen, then it produces the carbon dioxide, water in the form of the vapor, and heat is also released. Okay, so this is the first one property of the combustion, that is whenever there is a combustion of the organic compounds or the carbon compounds, they release the carbon monoxide or the carbon dioxide. Okay, then oxidation. Simply oxidation is what? Addition of oxygen. Okay, so carbon undergoes oxidation by combining with oxygen at a higher temperature to form oxides like a carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. So carbon monoxide is formed when there is incomplete combustion of the fuel. See, in the fuels like a petrol, diesel, carbon is present. So when there is incomplete combustion of the carbon, it produces CO, that is carbon monoxide. Then third one property of the chemical compound is the addition reaction. See, simply addition reaction means what? The two reactants react with each other to give only one single product is called as the addition reaction. So see, the reaction in which the two molecules react to form a single product are called as a addition reaction. For example, you can see here CH2 double bond CH2 is the ethene. When we add bromine, Br2 is the bromine. So when we add the bromine into ethene, what happens? The two bromine atoms are attached to these two carbon atoms and the double covalent bond reduces to single covalent bond. So two reactants are there, they combine with each other to give only one product. Such a type of reaction is called as the addition reaction. Okay, then carbon containing double bonds like alkenes. See, we know that in unsaturated hydrocarbons, if double bond is there, then that type of hydrocarbons are called as the alkenes, and if triple bond is there, then they are called as the alkynes. So when the carbon containing double bonds like alkenes, they readily react with certain molecules from saturated addition product. You can see here, this is the unsaturated compound because double bond is there, and this is the saturated because in between two carbon atoms only single bond is there. So whenever the addition reaction takes place, the unsaturated compounds converts into the saturated compounds. The addition of chlorine, bromine or the iodine molecules across the double bond of the alkene is called as simply halogenation, because we are adding the halogens like a chlorine, bromine and iodine. So see, this is the ethene. When we add the chlorine in presence of a CCl4, it gives 1,2-dichloroethane. Two chlorine atoms are attached to these two carbons. Similarly, when we add bromine into ethene, we have seen here it produces the 1,2-dibromoethane. Okay, so this is the third one chemical property of the carbon compounds, that is addition reaction. And nextly, see the addition of hydrogen molecule across the double bond of alkene to form saturated product is called hydrogenation. This is also a type of the addition reaction, but we are adding hydrogen, so it is termed as the hydrogenation. So C double bond C, it is the ethane. When we add the hydrogen into it in the presence of a nickel at 300 degrees centigrade temperature, it produces ethane. So two hydrogen atoms are attached here. So ethene unsaturated compound converts into ethane saturated compound, and addition of hydrogen is termed as the hydrogenation reaction. Then see, the last one chemical property of the carbon compounds is the substitution reaction. What is a substitution reaction? The reaction in which the atom or a group of atom is substituted or replaced by another atom, then it is called as the substitution reaction. Okay, so chlorination of methane is a type of a substitution reaction. If you see here, methane, CH4. When we add the chlorine into it in presence of a UV light or a heat, what happens? One hydrogen atom is replaced by the chlorine. So product will be CH3Cl, and hydrogen from methane and one atom from chlorine will get combined together to form the HCl. So methane gives methyl chloride plus HCl. Further, chloromethane means that when CH3Cl, again one hydrogen atom get displaced and it gives Cl2, that is dichloromethane, then trichloromethane, then tetrachloromethane. Okay, so every time the hydrogen or any atom or a group of atom is replaced by the another. This is what the substitution reaction. Then see, some important carbon compounds are given here, in that the first one is the ethanol, and or it is also called as the ethyl alcohol. Ethanol is the IUPAC name, ethyl alcohol is the common name. So the structural formula of the ethanol is the molecular formula is the C2H5O. Structure formula, it is represented here, 2 carbon atoms, 4 hydrogen atoms, and OH is the functional group. Its molecular formula is CH3CH2OH, or we can say C2H5OH. Ethanol is a colorless liquid and it has a pleasant odor. Its boiling point is given, it is 78 degrees centigrade, and its freezing point is minus 114 degree centigrade. It is soluble in water and almost all organic solvent. Ethanol is soluble in water in all proportions, and it also dissolves in all organic solvents. It is highly intoxicating in nature, and it is combustible, and it burns with a blue flame. Then properties of ethanol are given, in that the first one, there is a reaction of ethanol with the sodium. When ethanol, that is ethyl alcohol, reacts with the sodium, it produces the sodium ethoxide, C2H5O Na, and at the same time hydrogen gas is released. The second one property is the dehydration. Means from ethanol, if we remove, dehydration means what? Removal of water. So when there is removal of water molecule, that is H2O, from the ethanol in a presence of a concentrated H2SO4 at a 170 degrees centigrade, it produces the ethene, and the water molecule is produced also as a byproduct. Okay, so these are the 2 properties of the ethanol. Then see, next one important carbon compound is the ethanoic acid. Its common name is the acetic acid, and ethanoic acid is the IUPAC name. Formula is a CH3COOH. Its IUPAC name is ethanoic acid. Then acetic acid is a colorless, it is corrosive liquid with a pungent smell at ordinary temperature. Then below 290 Kelvin, pure acetic acid solidifies to an icy mass called as a glacial acetic acid. Then its boiling point is given, it is 391 Kelvin. Then it is miscible with water, alcohol and ether in all proportions. Then it is a good solvent for phosphorus, sulfur, iodine and inorganic compounds. Then see, acetic acid turns blue litmus red as it is acid. Okay. Then further, the reactions or the chemical properties of acetic acid are given. This is the acetic acid, CH3COOH, means ethanoic acid. When it reacts with the base sodium hydroxide, it produces the sodium ethoxide, that is CH3COO(Na). At the same time, water is released. Whenever this one ethanoic acid further reacts with the sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, it produces the sodium acetate. Okay. Then water and carbon dioxide is released. Same products are produced here, sodium acetate, sodium acetate. Then NaHCO3 is the bicarbonate. So when the ethanoic acid reacts with the sodium bicarbonate, it produces again the sodium acetate, water and the carbon dioxide gas is released there. Okay. Then last one reaction is the esterification. You can see in this one name ester. Ester is actually what? It is a one functional group. So there is a formation of the ester in this one reaction. Substances having the ester as the functional group are formed by the reaction between a carboxylic acid and the alcohol. Okay, you can see this is the carboxylic acid, COOH. Name of this one compound is the ethanoic acid, and this is the ethanol, C2H5OH. The water molecule, that is OH from the carboxylic acid and H from the alcohol, is removed like this. Okay, it forms water, and then further CH3COO and C2H5O is remaining. Okay, so it produces the ester. You can see here CH3COO is what? Functional name of this one functional group. COO is the ester, C2H5, ethyl acetate plus water. So this is the ester. So whenever there is a production of the ester, formation of the ester, and there is a reaction between the carboxylic acid and alcohol, it produces the ester. This one type of reaction is called as the esterification. Okay, So see, the further points in this one topic are reduced from our syllabus for this year. Okay, so we have revised all the points in this one topic, carbon compounds. Okay, thank you.